Daniel?
தொடங்கலாமா?
Daniel, this is Linda with
Yeah,
AES. How are you?
I'm fine, Linda. How are you?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
thanks.
am fine, and I just want to welcome everyone who's attending tonight. Asian Elephant Support has been very happy to help fund these get-togethers, and they're very interesting to me. Some of the medical stuff gets way over my head, but it's still good to listen to everyone and to see familiar faces and meet new people. So I don't know what happened to Heidi. But anyhow, I'm going to let you take it away, Daniel. And thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda, for your for your talk. And this is the fifth webinar. I would like to just invite all the participants who are here on this day. And this is the fifth webinar that we are doing. So far, we have presented 12 presentations from different, mostly on elephants and other wildlife animal diseases investigation. And we will be recording this presentation, all the presentation, and it will be available on YouTube. All previous presentations are also available on website, and we will be sharing the link through email, so that if you have anything, you can just talk with the presenters also. So a few instructions before we start. We have 3 presentations, and if you have any questions, maybe you can just type in the chat box. All the questions will be attended at the end of the presentation. Once again, I would like to just say that this is a recorded message, and you'll be, in case if you miss anything, nothing to worry, and then you will get an opportunity to listen to that later. We'll be just sharing the link after we upload it. I once again just thank Linda, Asian Elephant Support, the president and the treasurer of Asian Elephant Support, for this for their support to conduct this wonderful webinar. We have many participation from different parts of the world. Nearly 200 and about 300 people have registered, and we are using different platforms, and some of them will be listening using YouTube. Okay, watching using YouTube and Facebook as well. Thank you very much. I hand over the session to Dr. Heidi Riddle to invite the presenters. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, and welcome to everyone who has logged in to listen to these presentations. The first presentation is actually going to be a team effort. It's a pre-recorded presentation because the lead presenter is out of the country, and so he will not be available, but one of his colleagues will be available to answer questions. So as Daniel just said, please feel free to either put your questions in the chat box or just ask the questions. We will have time at the end of the presentation for people to ask questions. So the lead presenter is Dr. Bandara. He's a veterinary surgeon with the Department of National Zoological Gardens in Sri Lanka. He graduated from the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and Animal Sciences from the University of Peradeniya in 2003. And currently, Dr. Bandara is a chief veterinary surgeon and officer in charge at Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage and the Zoo. The veterinarian and the colleague who will be answering questions, available to answer questions, is Dr. Roshan. He's been a veterinary surgeon at the Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage since 2017. And Dr. Roshan mainly cares for the health and nutrition of elephants. The presentation today is about the diagnosis, treatment, and management of tuberculosis in elephants at Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage in Sri Lanka. So this will be, as I said, a pre-recorded presentation, but then you're free to ask questions at the end of the presentation.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank, on behalf of National Zoological Garden Sri Lanka, to Asia Elephant Support Program and Life Trust India for giving this opportunity to share our knowledge and experiences in diagnosis, treatment, and management of tuberculosis in elephants. Here, I also would like to thank the General of National Zoological Garden, Dr. R.C. Rajapaksa, who is the beginner of our TB control program. Going back to the history of Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage was established in 1975 with 5 orphan baby elephants by the Department of Wildlife Conservation, and later it belonged to the Department of National Zoological Gardens, and now it is under the Ministry of the Environment. When consider current elephant population, we have 67 elephants, including 40 females and 27 males. Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage is located at Kego District, Sabaragaon Province. One can reach Elephant Orphanage by train or by vehicle very easily. Main objectives of the Elephant Orphanage are conservation, breeding, welfare of elephant, education and research. In this presentation, I am going to talk on Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex, on tuberculous mycobacteria, current tuberculosis control program of Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage, DPP with TB assay, trunk wash collection procedure, and anti-TB drugs, one-phase combination therapy protocol, two-phase protocol, and how to train an elephant to eat anti-TB drugs, and type of food that is used to anti-TB medications, and side effects of anti-TB medication, and finally how to minimize side effects. Coming back to introduction, tuberculosis is a serious chronic infection in human and animals throughout the world. Tuberculosis in elephant is known as a re-emergent disease. It is primarily caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It's a human form of disease, and infection by Mycobacterium bovis has also been regularly reported. Asian elephants are more frequently infected with Mycobacterium tuberculosis compared to African elephants. The Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex is a genetically related group of Mycobacterium species that can cause tuberculosis in human and other animals. It includes in human, Mycobacterium caprae in goats, Mycobacterium caninate again in human, Mycobacterium microti again in human, Mycobacterium oryx in oryx, and finally Mycobacterium suricate in meerkats. All these organisms can cause disease in human and other animals. There are another group of mycobacteria called non-tuberculous mycobacteria or atypical mycobacteria. Most of them are saprophytes. That means they live in soil and water. And for example, Mycobacterium suigi, they can cause skin infection, and Mycobacterium elephantis, it was isolated from disease elephant in India, cause lung disease in human, Mycobacterium avium and Mycobacterium intracellularale. They are called Mycobacterium avium complex, and they cause lung disease in human. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is zoonotic. Initial infection of elephant with Mycobacterium have been hypothesized to come from infectious human. No study documented how elephant-elephant transmission. Aerosol, droplet, and prolonged exposure similar to human-to-human transmission are presumed to have occurred because of the affected animals were typical long-term companions. Coming into our TB control program, our TB control program was initiated in 2012 with 88 elephants. We use DPP-TB wet assay or DPP chem bioassay to screen elephants. All reactive elephants subjected to the trunk wash procedure and trunk wash culture positive elephants we isolated in our quarantine center. We isolated elephants as a group and for an entire group. In the treatment method, here we use two-phase protocol and product regimen for 1 year. And most important part is the monitoring. Weekly trunk wash samples taken to verify whether the treatment was effective in stopping shed of mycobacteria. And blood work, urine analysis, fecal analysis, and performed throughout the treatment period. Coming into husband practices, manual shed cleaning is a good practice. It prevents aerosol production and disease spreading, and shed ventilation and routine shed disinfection also need practice. Three trunk wash samples during 1 week is called triple trunk wash. When the treatment was effective, we stopped weekly trunk wash method and changed into monthly triple trunk wash method until the end of the treatments. After completion of the treatment, trunk wash method changed into the every 3-month triple trunk wash method. We have treated 19 elephants successfully to now. Finally, coming into our staff screening program, basically annually or biannually we screen all the staff, and from that selected staff members, they subject to the sputum culture, chest X-ray, and want to test biomedical counterpart. Believe me, only one staff member was found as a TB positive patient during last 12 years and was treated successfully. Because of the granulomatous lesion, some elephants didn't show positive result for trunk wash culture. What with the exposure history, clinical signs, sometimes real-time PCR results, with sometimes we use gamma interferon test result, used to get the decision to beginning of the treatments. The DPP wet TB assay is a single-use immunochromatographic rapid test for the detection of antibodies to Mycobacterium tuberculosis and Mycobacterium bovis in serum, plasma, all but from Asian and African elephants. And the test is used as an aid in the diagnosis of active tuberculosis in conjunction with other diagnostic methods. If the specific antibodies are present in the sample, the expected test result is reactive. Then, in the absence of antibodies, the expected test result is non-reactive. This slide shows DPP wet TB assay non-reactive elephants. This test kits from our 2019 TB control program, and here you can see only control line is visible. That means these test kits say The given samples are non-reactive for tuberculosis or mycobacteriosis. This slide shows the EPP wet TB assay reactive element. Here first test line, second test line, and control line are visible. That means sample is reactive for TB or mycobacteriosis. For a successful TB control program, training is very essential. Here, elephants should be trained to accept oral medication before initiate the treatment. If the oral treatment failed, as a second plan or second choice, elephants should be trained to accept rectal examination, enema, and rectally administered medication. Also, here we need well-planned nutrition management program and method for minimizing side effects of anti-TB drugs and stress management enrichment programs. Those are very important in successful TB control program. The gold standard test for the diagnosis is in culture of organism. So trunk wash training is coming into the first. This is a very simple technique and only need few materials. In this slide, I have shown material that need to trunk wash technique. For the PPE and sterile collecting bags, normal saline, masks, and disposable gloves. This is to demonstrate trunk wash technique. In this technique, early morning is the best time. We have experienced secretion and discharges in the trunk early in the morning is another thing is the minimizing contamination and dilution with the food and water. It is better to collect trunk wash before giving food and water. And when ventilated open area is reduce exposure to the organism. Sorry. Normally, elephants do not allow the antelope hold their trunk, so proper training is vital. We use 4 drugs for TB treatments, namely isoniazid, rifampicin, ethambutol, and pyrazinamide. I have mentioned mechanism of action, reason for use, route, and dose in the table. Starting from the isoniazid, it inhibits synthesis of microtic acid in bacterial cell wall and rapid killing of actively dividing mycobacterium tuberous organism. Route is we can use rectally or orally, and dose is 2 to 5 milligram per kilogram. Dose may change 5 to 7 milligram in single phase combined protocol. Rifampicin, it inhibits DNA-dependent RNA polymerase activity in bacteria. It kills latent or inactive mycobacterium organism. It can be given only orally, and dose is 10 milligram per kg. Ethambutol, it diffuses into actively growing mycobacterium tuberculosis and increase cell wall permeability and post-bacterial death. And symbiotic with the other drugs prevent failure of treatment due to resistance. It can be given orally only, and dose is 15 milligram per kilogram. Pyrazinamide, it interferes with mycobacterium tuberculosis ability to synthesize fatty acid and require for growth and replication, used in conjunction with isoniazid to prevent resistance, and it can give orally or rectally. Dose is 20 milligram per kilogram. This is to show available form of anti-TB drugs in Sri Lanka. Beginning from the isoniazid, it comes as a 100 milligram tablet. It is the smallest tablet. Here you can see isoniazid, and rifampicin comes as 150 milligram capsule. It's a red color capsule, and ethambutol as 400 milligram tablet, and pyrazinamide is the largest tablet. It comes as 500 milligram tablet. And there are 2 types of protocol for the anti-TB treatment. First one is single-phase combination therapy protocol. This protocol may use in elephant that become very sick during intensive initiation phase of the 2-phase protocol. And second one is the two-phase protocol that we have successfully used last 12 years. And there are two phases in this protocol: initiation phase and continuation phase. Initiation phase rapidly decrease living microtubular organism population without creating resistance. In the continuation phase, continue killing of mycobacterium organism, including inactive bacteria. Coming into our practice, in both phases, we use 4-drug orally. First phase, we use 4-drug every day, and second phase, we use 4-drug every other day. According to our past experience, two-phase protocol was very successful for the Sri Lankan elephants. And consider goals of anti-TB treatments. Our aims were cease shedding of live mycobacterium organism to protect human and herd mates, stop elephant becoming ill from the treatment, and get appropriate serum concentration of anti-TB drug in elephant, and monitoring trunk pus culture throughout the treatments, and finally, treatments for the adequate time. Coming into how to train an elephant to eat an anti-TB drug properly. Training on taking oral medication is essential for successful TB control in elephant. Elephants are trained initially to accept vitamin tablets and capsules with various types of specific food. Footballers should not give into the trunk and should train to accept direct into the mid-oral cavity behind the elevation of the tongue. The training period may vary with the individual elephants and behavior nature of the animal and skill of the elephant keeper. Most elephants can be adequately trained for the procedure in 2 to 3 weeks. So this is to show how to train oral medication. In elephant orphanage, we use non-restricted contact method to elephant management. Here, Mahout commands raise the trunk and open the mouth of the elephant, and then footballers push into the mid-oral cavity behind the elevation of the tongue and allow to swallow. We can use several footballers. First, we offer footballers without drug, then with the drug, and finally without drug. Types of food used in anti-TB medication. In our TB control program, we use nutritional mixed rice frequently. This rice can make easily. For that, we need red rice, green gram, horse gram, and coconut milk. Jaggery also can be added to give sweet taste. This rice, you can see the rice in this. Here, this is the rice. This rice is sticky in nature. It masks bitter taste of the anti-TB drugs. And then we can use herbivore pellets. This one also good material for the anti-TB medication. This is the pellet. and we can make boluses very easily. And we can use various fruits, banana, pineapple, watermelon, and wood apple, dates, and jackfruits also. And we have used bee honey, ketul tackle, ketul jaggery, sugarcane molasses, bread with honey, scraped coconut and honey, tamarind and salt. Also, sometimes in juvenile elephants, we used milk to give anti-TB drugs. Drugs directly put into the milk bottle and fed with milk. This is salt and tamarind. And coming into the side effect of the anti-TB medication, loss of appetite, anorexia, excessive tearing, and vapospasm of the eye, and diarrhea, blood, red color feces, red color urine, liver failure, even death can happen. In our program, we haven't experienced of anorexia or liver failure, but I have experienced all the side effects. And how to minimize side effects? First, you have to hydrate well, provide ad libitum water, bathing regularly 5 to 6 times per day, at least half an hour for one time. We can use a water hose to bathe, or if we have a water bath, we can use the bath, and provide food with nature cooling effects. For example, green gram, cucumber, immature top stem part of the palm tree. This is called, we are called ketul tree, and provide cool shade area and regular exercises. And this is our quarantine, and this is at the end of one of successful TB control program. Thank you.
Thank you. We have been listening to the presentation by Dr. Bandara from Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage. Now it's time for question. To answer the questions, we have Dr. Roshan, Nimal, Shanta Karunaratne with us, and he will be responding to some of the questions. We have a few questions here on the chat box. I would like to read that so that it will be recorded for the listeners of the recorded messages. Dr. Shakuna, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, good morning. And we
Morning
have a
to you.
couple of questions here. I would like to read that. There's one question from Dr. Dedi Chandra. And how about other people or livestock surrounding elephant? Are there any positives of TB?
Yeah. I should say, actually, we don't have livestock around our setup here in Pinnawala. But actually, for the whole 12 years that we have been treating, we had only one positive person during this course. But that one also not direct, I should say. We check our staff biannually. And the person who was positive did not have direct contact with elephants. He was working in our gardening section, but he didn't have direct contact. So we suspect that cannot be from elephants.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the staff, the closely associated with giving pills and other things, they were not positive.
Right. Okay, thank you. There is another question by the same person. And why, when giving medicine during TB infection, mahouts are not mahouts not used gloves or masks could be infected? So that's the question.
Yeah, I think actually the photo that has been used, that is not when giving TB drugs, right? That is just to demonstrate the pills when give. I mean, just to demonstrate about how we are giving things to elephants, right? So when giving TB drugs to elephants, actually all staff were wearing gloves and PPE kits, and they were very protective.
Okay, yeah, we can understand that. Yeah, so there is another question from Mohammed Abdul Razak. Is there any other recommended treatment regime period aside from 12 months period?
No, actually, presently we use that US protocol that is that has two phases, 2 months and 10 months, right? That has been successful. Actually, we have done with that very successfully. So we can recommend that protocol very much because that was very successful. So even though it seems that it is very difficult, actually, the time duration is a bit longer. We gave them orally. It was a really a difficult task, right? But that was successful. I can recommend that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. There's a question from Dr. Bhaskar. Any blood and serum chemistry profile monitored for elephants, both positive and negative ones?
So for test this, we use DPP kit, right? So blood samples we took very frequently for hemo analysis for other kind of things. By DPP, actually, they were positive. So based on that, we started treating. So they were seropositive. Yeah. We treated 19 elephants. They were positive for DPP positive with clinical signs also. Actually, we can divide the main herd into three groups: unexposed group, DPP positive without clinical signs, DPP positive with clinical signs. So we treated DPP positive and with clinical signs also.
Okay. There's one more question from Dr. Kanishkar. In case TB drug should be given for a long period, in that case, male elephant get must at that time. How can we administer? And if we discontinue change drug resistance is high.
Yeah, luckily we didn't get elephants into must during our treatment period, right? So actually the herd that we treated mainly composed of females. We had young males, but they didn't actually, though they showed some more must signs, they didn't come to must, luckily. But they definitely during must period, we have to discontinue the treatments.
Okay, yeah.
And
Thank you.
one thing I can add.
Yeah.
With our experience, we show that when we put the mixture of drugs and the foods that we were giving onto the clean floor, some elephants tend to eat them, right? Though we practice directly giving foods into mouth, there are some patterns, actually the behavioral patterns of elephants. We have to identify that first. Some do not tolerate giving foods into the mouth directly. Otherwise, instead we can put the whole lot of things onto the ground so that they can grasp them, right? There are some characters also. So we have to identify that. For those who can be in must, we can, if possible, put those medications with foods onto the clean ground.
Thank you, Dr. Shakia, for all the answers. And that was a great presentation. Now I hand over the session to Dr. Heidi Riddle to continue with the next presentation. She will.
Actually, I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question. My question about the TB is if you're using DPP that shows a reactive, not necessarily a positive, if you have a reactive test on the DPP, do you follow it up with a trunk wash culture because the culture is the gold standard? Or do you just automatically treat based on the reactive test to the DPP?
Yeah. When we check, we get trunk wash samples, right? We have to culture them, right? It takes nearly 3 months to culture, right? What we used, right? So based on the clinical signs, we knew we show clinical signs clearly, wasting their body, and we showed clinical signs. So without taking much time, with DPP reactive samples, we just started, we isolated them and started treating them.
Okay, thank you. So if they have symptoms, and they're reactive on DPP, then you treat them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate the answer.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Very interesting. So